KPMG state that if the computer goes into hibernation, like a sleeping mode,
Yes.
The editing timer does not run.
Yes, that is, I believe, what they
you,
stated. Yes.
And this was contrary to what you discovered when you ran it on Windows XP. Is that correct?
Yes.
So there the timer was still running.
Yes, when we took the machine out of hibernation and saved it, we have a revision number of 1 and a editing time that reflected, including the hibernation time.
Exactly. And if you did it on Vista, the hibernation timer, or the hibernation stopped the editing timer. Was that correct?
That is correct. On Friday after KPMG statement, I decided to take another look at it with a newer operating system that came after XP. And then it did reflect what KPMG said, that the editing time would not increment, which I found very interesting. It, to me, gives a strong indication that there may be a difference in how the XP operating system and the Vista operating system, potentially in combination with the different versions of Word, handles the editing time in regards to the hibernation.
Is this an example of the testing environment being relevant for whether or not you get the finding at all?
Yes, I think this was quite interesting scenario where the testing environment we created could actually make a difference in results.
In this example for attachment 30, what did BDO, no, excuse me, KPMG use? Did they use Vista or XP?
I believe they used modern current operating systems. I don't think they used either of those. I would have to check their reports to make sure.
Okay. In terms of hibernation, is there a difference there in the operating system, how a computer is set up? I know that my laptop here, it keeps turning off. I think it's trying to save the battery or going into hibernation mode, whereas my PC in my office tends to not do that as often. Is there a difference in how PCs are configured?
Potentially, yes. Laptops have their own power-saving settings that might make a computer go into hibernation more quickly, whereas a PC might take longer or be switched off. It's also a setting users can specify to their specifications.
And I also find that especially laptops, where power is more of a concern due to conserving battery, that the vendor or the producer of the laptop, Lenovo or Dell, they have their own power schemes which work in addition to or on the side of the power system and the operating system. Could that have an effect on how hibernation plays in?
Yes, if the manufacturer of a laptop has their own power-saving software running in addition to that of the operating system, they might have additional settings in their own software which could control when a notebook or other battery-powered device conducts certain actions to save battery. That's entirely plausible.
And if we, so this was the first other observation. There's another observation further down. It says that attachment 30 is saved in Word 2003 in the format .doc. The document is made out from the template normal.m. There's a comment about the file format docx and .m template, which was launched first in 2007 and so on. The point being two different versions of this template in Word 2003 and 2007. It says on the last line, information about normal.m as template is shown both in MS Word and in FTK. Can you say something about how you approached this description and finding from KPMG?
So, as understood from the KPMG reports, they stated that this document used a newer template form, the normal period.m, that wasn't available when the document was written. We took a look at the information in the report, and we also saw pretty quickly that the Word screenshots, which appears to be a screenshot from a document being opened inside Microsoft Word, said the newer template, normal period.m, but the screenshot in the report, this is the KPMG report of FTK, stated that...
These the two pictures on 1172 and 73?
Yes, I believe they are.
If we go to page 1172, What application, what sort of program are they using here to do this forensic analysis?
I believe they're using Microsoft Word, and this is a screenshot from the properties of Microsoft Word. When you open a document in it, you can go to the properties setting and check the document's properties.
Who does it say the author is?
Yeah, it says the author is Wright.
And there you have a very long editing time of 31,000 minutes. And under template, it says normal.m.
Yes, that's what it says in the screenshot.
And if you move to 1173, what sort of tool is this?
So 1173 is a screenshot from FTK. FTK stands for the Forensic Toolkit, which is made by Access Data. This is software specifically created for digital forensic analysis. And this is what I was referring to earlier, because it also says information about the template here. And in this screenshot, it says the template is the normal period dot, which is the older template. So we noticed that pretty quickly in their report and then decided to look into that.
And you describe this in your report on page 1397. We're then going into the BDO report.
1397?
Yeah. I'll just translate it on the rough, if that's okay. That when the file is open in the latest version of Word, Office 365, it shows the template normal.m.
Yes, it does. These are the properties that we, if you simply right-click on the file and go to properties in the Windows OS, these are the information you'll see.
And the next paragraph, you say that we tested also what would happen if the document was edited and saved in a version of Word which supports the template normal.m. So this template has been replaced, and what happens if you then save it?
So if you were to open this file with an older template in a modern version of Word that supports no longer normal period dots, but has switched over to normal period dot m, and you saved it, it would swap out the older template for the newer one, and that would be reflected in the properties of this file. So if I believe we have a screenshot of that as well, that the result would be that in the saved version, you'd get a normal period dot m. It would update the template.
Is that on the next page?
Yes, I believe we are there now, 1398.
Okay. And if you recall, earlier today we had a discussion. What if you had an old Word file and you open it in a newer version of Word? Could that affect the document?
It will definitely affect the potentially interpretation of the document by the program. So if you save it again, it'll change contents. But if you were to open it and view information via a newer version of Word, it is not a forensic piece of software. So it is a word processing software to help people write documents. It's going to assist you in whatever way. So that question in regards to this, I give a strong indication that by opening this older document in a newer version of Word, it will not have shown you factually what was actually used in the past to create. It will show you what it will use when you continue on it or save it or update it. So it's trying to assist you by showing you newer information that was actually used on the document.
Can a change of template cause changes to the document itself in terms of margins, in terms of I don't know, fonts or language or header, footer, insertable fields and so on?
The templates are there to give default information of what is to be used in a document when you open and start it. They can be replaced, they can also be edited. So it is plausible that switching to a different template or updating to a newer version of the template could change some information of the documents.
And a more general question, talked about these files of a lifespan of 10, 12, 14 years. Similar changes have happened to them throughout the years, that they're opened in Word, opened in applications and saved and that this could potentially affect how they react under analysis?
That's quite a long span of time, but if multiple users, same user, were to open and save and edit it throughout the years, then there will be automated changes potentially by the updating or newer versions of the software. That is plausible.
I also want to look at some issues related to font sense, actually. If you look to page 1219, then we're back in the KPMG report. And we'll continue with this attachment 30, which the lawyer on the other side raised today. I think we can sort of continue in that document on page 1219. It says under description, attachment 30.doc is a text file with what looks to be notes. So what format, which application is this for?
BLOC format, BLOC 30 was a Word document format.
And on the next page, still commenting on attachment 30 under fonts, investigation, if you investigate the encoding on the fonts in a PDF version of the file, it's been used Arial and Calibri. And on the third last lines, this encoding is more usual on newer Windows operating systems. This could indicate that the file has been created later than the metadata, etc. Can you help me understand? The document is in Word, but the analysis has been done on a PDF version. Is that correct?
That is what it states here, yes.
Why?
I have to admit, I am not sure why. In this, as far as I know from this document, the original evidence is a Word document. In my own opinion, if you have an original piece of evidence, you want to use that to get information about the evidence. To trust a conversion of a document into a different format and then do analysis on it, you give trust to the program doing conversion that it will take all of the information correctly into a different format and that all the information is present. So I am unsure why you would use the converted format of the document, which I think might have been prepared for the court to analyze anything from the evidence rather than the original file.
On attachment 27, that's also one that was addressed earlier today by the other side. We go to page 1169. And this is attachment 27, description, attachment 27 ODT. And it says beneath, this file is an open office document. And under last changed, attachment 27 has missing metadata for the field date modified on file level. This is not to be expected unless one resets the metadata in the open office application, which KPMG have done on a test document and so on. Do you have any comment on this finding from KPMG?
No, I am aware that it is possible to erase information via OpenOffice on the file level via OpenOffice. There should still be some retention of information on operating system level when looking at the properties of the file.
If one wanted to edit or to make an impression that this file is something it isn't, what do you think is more likely, that someone would change the date, or would it just leave a blank hole as it seems to be here?
So from my experience in law enforcement, when people wanted to not draw attention to the changing of information, such as metadata, they would usually replace it. Leaving it blank draws more attention to it.
I think we can go to page 1177. I think we're getting close to finishing. If we could have a couple of minutes more before the break. Yeah. 1177 is attachment 32. And if we look, this is also, it says a Word file on the top. And under other metadata, It says in the second paragraph,